Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a step-by-step tutorial based on our source material that is going to completely change how you use AI. We're breaking down insights from a massive test of over 1,000 different Claude AI skills, and we've distilled it all down to the top 10 that actually matter. So let's figure out exactly how to turn a basic, everyday chat interface into a fully automated production powerhouse.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Because right now, if you look at the data, there are really only two kinds of AI users out there. On one side, you have folks who are still manually typing prompts into a text box, crossing their fingers, and just hoping for a decent result. And on the other side, you have the people who've figured out what's sitting just underneath that chat interface. And let me tell you, the gap between these two groups is massive. Honestly, it's getting a little bit embarrassing.
To get a real feel for just how wide that gap is, you gotta look at power users like Garry Tan. He's the guy running Combinator, the legendary company behind massive giants like Airbnb and Stripe. Well, he isn't sitting at his desk manually typing out instructions all day. No way. He is deploying automated workflows. He literally handed his team's busy work over to specific Claude skills, which allows him, just one guy sitting alone, to output the work of an entire 50-person team. That is the sheer level of leverage we're talking about today.
So before we start installing anything, we really need to understand what a skill actually is. Because actually, scratch that, it's not a prompt. A skill is a small package that you install exactly once. It essentially teaches the AI how to do one highly specific job really well. Once it's installed, it acts just like a dedicated digital employee. It does that exact job the same way every single time, zero complex setup, and absolutely no coding required. It's basically a one-click install to automate a chunk of your day. So let's look at how to actually install and use the top 10. Section 1. Master Efficiency and Discovery. We're going to count down these top 10 skills as a step-by-step tutorial, starting with how to get the absolute most out of your daily limits.
Coming in at number 10, we've got token optimization. If you do nothing else but start using this one, your daily usage limit is effectively going to double on the exact same plan you're already paying for. Picture this. You drop 10 research papers, 15 articles, and a handful of PDFs into Claude. Normally, by like the 9th paper, you get that dreaded red warning saying you're approaching your limit, right? And you haven't even started your analysis yet. Well, this skill completely solves that. You hand it a mountain of data, and it processes the whole shebang using just a fraction of the tokens. In one test, it took 50 different sources about how Indian creators grow on YouTube, and it concisely spat out 8 exact tactics, ranked by impact, fitting perfectly on one single screen. Or, say you drop in a 40-page board deck due tomorrow morning. It instantly pulls the 3 critical decisions on the table. It is an absolute game changer for efficiency.
But the real catch with these skills is just knowing which one to use out of the thousands that are out there. So number 9 is your gateway tool, the find skill. Instead of trying to memorize a massive library, you just describe what you need in plain old English. Say something like, write a LinkedIn post about the recent SpaceX and Anthropic deal. The find skill scans the entire library for you, pulls the exact writing style skill that matches your voice, asks a couple of quick follow-up questions to nail the angle, and boom, 90 seconds later, you have a finished, fully sourced post. You completely stop being the one who has to pick the tool. The AI finds it and runs it for you. Definitely install this one first.
Section 2. Perfect your brand identity. Because once you know how to instantly find the right tool, you absolutely need to make sure the output actually sounds and looks like you.
Which brings us to number 8, brand guidelines. Guys, we have to stop typing out our brand rules from scratch every single time we need a quick piece of copy or a design. With this skill, you literally write one single paragraph describing your colors, your voice, and the phrases you'd never ever say. Claude locks it in. It builds a full, permanent brand identity document that saves your hex codes, your font pairings, and even samples sentences in your exact tone. And here's a quick pro tip from the source material. If you're managing multiple brands or clients, you can actually set up a separate brand skill for each one and just effortlessly toggle between them.
Now, number 7 is going to make sure all that beautifully branded content stays strictly credible. Enter the fact checker. We've all seen those viral WhatsApp rumors or crazy headlines that turn out to be completely fake, right? Well, this skill stops you from accidentally spreading bad info. You just paste in any claim, and the skill rips out every factual statement, checks it against real, authoritative sources, and gives you a clear-cut verdict before you hit publish. During a test on a viral company deal post, it checked 17 separate claims in just 40 seconds. It gave a mixed verdict, flagged a totally inflated statistic, and caught a completely fabricated CEO quote, giving every single claim a confidence score and a direct link to the source. All right, Section 3, Optimize and Stress Test. Let's see how we can build on this to heavily scrutinize your business and massively boost your online visibility. And this is a perfect segue into number 6, the SEO skill. Historically, getting good SEO is incredibly expensive, right? We're talking sometimes a $30,000 monthly agency retainer. This skill literally compresses that entire retainer into one single prompt. It runs a full technical audit on any website, stacks it up against competitors, and hands you a prioritized list of fixes. The source tested this on Nike, comparing them directly to Adidas and New Balance. It found Nike scoring a 78 overall, with their weakest pillar being on-page SEO sitting at a 68. It highlighted crazy critical errors like a broken homepage title and a meta tag literally blocking mobile zoom. It even scored their AI search readiness at just a 60. You just swap out Nike for your own website and boom, your Monday morning strategy is completely sorted.
Number 5 takes that stress testing right up to the executive level. It's called Office Hours, and it's an open-source tool straight from Y Combinator's president, Garry Tan. This skill essentially puts Claude in the chair of a YC partner sitting right across from you. And let me warn you, it is brutally honest. It tears your business plan apart using very specific forcing questions to demand absolute reality and specificity. When they tested it on the food delivery brand Zomato, it fired back with questions like, would users be upset if Zomato disappeared tomorrow? And the brutal AI conclusion? Probably not. People just open whichever app has the better coupon. It's driven by habit, not love. It then challenged their assumptions about competitors and offered 3 incredibly strict strategic paths forward. This is high-level feedback that is almost impossible to get anywhere else.
Moving to Section 4, automate human-level work. Now we're stepping into the real magic, where the AI stops acting like a simple tool and starts acting like a highly trained colleague.
Number 4 literally broke the source's brain a little bit when they tested it. It is the skill creator. Up until now, we've only talked about skills built by someone else. Well, this skill builds new skills for you. You just describe your daily workflow the exact same way you would explain it to a brand new human hire. The AI then actively interviews you, drafts its own logic, tests itself, and packages up a brand new custom skill tailored perfectly to you. For instance, if you need a highly structured monthly review of startup investments that catches very specific red flags, you just tell this to the skill creator and it builds an automated system to do exactly that. You aren't waiting for developers anymore, you are the developer.
Now, take a second and look at this specific number on the screen, 29. According to the research, there are exactly 29 documented structural patterns that completely give away a piece of writing as being AI-generated.
Which perfectly sets up number 3, the humanizer. The goal here is to make your outputs pass for human, not just by guessing, but by systematically stripping out those 29 exact patterns. Look at the comparison here. On the left, you've got that embarrassing AI slop. I hope this message finds you well. In today's fast-paced startup landscape, I mean, nobody actually writes a cold email like that, and we all instantly ignore it. But on the right, the humanizer fixes it at a structural level. It drops the cliches and uses hard data. Quick math from your last 30 days. That is direct, hyper-specific, and human-sounding copy that actually gets replies and multiplies your engagement.
Finally, Section 5, build the final product. For our final 2 skills in this tutorial, we are basically going to replace entire teams of high-paid consultants and senior developers.
Number 2 is deep research. Traditionally, if you wanted to know if a market was too crowded before launching a new business, you'd be waiting 2 to 3 weeks for a consultant's report. This skill compresses that entire process into an 8-minute timeline. When a user wanted to build an AI meeting notes app, she ran this exact skill. It instantly spun up multiple parallel agents, one profiling competitors, another pulling funding data, and another analyzing pricing models. Within 8 minutes, literally the time it takes to brew a cup of coffee, it delivered a fully synthesized report mapping out a $623 million market. It identified 5 specific gaps no one had fixed yet and even recommended a precise go-to-market angle. That's a 3-week project done before lunch.
And drumroll please, our number 1 skill. This one breaks way past just putting text on a page. It is the official Anthropic front-end design skill, and it's already installed by hundreds of thousands of power users. Look, most AI design looks exactly like AI design. Cheap purple gradients and super basic card grids. This skill outright bans those defaults. Instead, it uses a real structured design system. From one single typed sentence, it generated a premium, production-grade animated dashboard for a voice dictation tool in just 10 minutes. It had live pulsing waveforms, hover states, and a connected apps panel for Slack and Notion. It generates premium, perfectly working interfaces instantly. As the source brilliantly pointed out, using this final skill is basically like having a world-class engineering team sitting right at your fingertips, entirely for free. Think about it. A year ago, stacking all of these capabilities together would have easily cost 6 figures and required a team of 5 working for a month and a half. Now, it's just a free afternoon.
So,
I'm going to leave you with this question. Look closely at your daily workflow today and find your biggest bottleneck. The tools to fix it are literally just one click away. So are you going to keep manually typing out your day, or are you finally ready to install your very first digital employee and let the automation take over?